Tim, thank you very much. That was like extremely generous, but I do very much appreciate all of the very kind comments from so many of my friends and colleagues here in the room. You know, it has indeed been my enormous privilege to serve as 2014-15 chair of the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade, and I can honestly say that I've loved every minute of it. People, you know, often ask me, isn't it unusual for the leader of one of BC's largest nonprofit organizations to lead a major business advocacy organization? And I think it's a great question because it gives me the opportunity to challenge outmoded and stereotypical assumptions about the perceived divide between traditional business and people like myself who work for social profit. So I think of the YWCA and the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade both as organizations that bridge that divide very effectively. The YWCA, I'm proud to say, is a great example of a well-functioning social enterprise. Most of our operating budget of about $30 million is self-generated through fundraising, through fee-for-service activities, and through related businesses, such as our Health and Fitness Center and our 155-room budget price point hotel, which is located on Beatty Street, right across from BC Place Stadium. So thinking about the hotel there, our gross revenues are about $3.5 million annually, and in a good year, we generate about $1 million in net revenue that's used to fund a variety of services that are very difficult to raise money for. At the same time, we subsidize about 50% of the room nights annually. So that's about 24,000 room nights that we make available to seniors who are in town for medical appointments, to students, to refugees, or to women and children who are in need of short-term emergency accommodation. So you can see that it's a good example of how our business model is completely integrated with our community service work. I see a clear parallel with the Board of Trade, which exists primarily to represent the interests of our business members, but also recognizes that economic progress on its own is not sufficient, that a thriving economy depends to a large degree on the health of the society in which it operates. The understanding that economy and society are interdependent is manifest in our work in various ways. In our leadership on the Better Transit and Transportation Coalition, in the Greater Vancouver Economic Scorecard, which we're working on right now, that will measure our performance against other international regions on both economic and social indicators. And in our commitment to reflecting the diversity of our community, our economy, our population in everything we do. So when I first joined the Board of Trade, taking on the role of board chair is not something I had particularly aspired to, and the truth is I had to be encouraged to take it on. But I will always be grateful to Wendy Lissagar-Kokia and to Ken Martin for doing just that. So thank you both very much. As I said, I've loved every minute of this role. And I'd also like to express particular appreciation to Tim Manning for his outstanding leadership this year. Tim, I can honestly say that I can never thank you adequately for all of your encouragement, your support, and just all-round excellent advice. And also for being such a champion for diversity, for youth engagement, and for gender equality. I'm proud to serve on a business board that has actually achieved gender parity and has created space for our younger members to participate fully in our governance and in our policy work. To Ian Black, I'd like to say that we could not possibly have found a better CEO. My colleagues at the YWCA will know that one of my favorite sayings is, vision without execution is hallucination. Well, Ian, that is certainly not a problem for you and your team, as our organizational results will attest. I wish I had time tonight to personally acknowledge all of the members of our executive committee, our board, and staff who've made my 6 years with the Board of Trade such a rich and satisfying experience. But let me just say that working with this big team has been nothing but joy. I also owe a very special debt of gratitude to my colleagues at the YWCA, our superb board of directors, and the members of our superbly competent management team. Thanks, friends, for coming tonight and for making it possible for me to also serve the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade. And there is one other person I want to acknowledge by name, and that is my husband, Ashley Chester. So Ashley, you know how much I respect your knowledge and your judgment, and how much I appreciate your encouragement and support. But I'd like the rest of the world to know it as well. So thank you for everything you do to make life worth living. So I'm sure that more than covers my allotted time on the agenda, and in keeping with the maxim that there's no such thing as a bad short speech, I will conclude with the Franklin Roosevelt saying that has always held meaning for me, and it is, far and away, the best that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. I'm fortunate to have found that chance both in my professional work at the YWCA and in my volunteer role with the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade. It's been an honor to serve. Thank you all so much.